This is ESPN Esports. I'm Arda Ocal. A major cover story from Billboard Magazine detailing Travis Scott's Astronomical, the landmark concert that occurred in Fortnite, more like a musical event than a concert. The title of the article is Game On, What Travis Scott is Teaching Music Stars About the World's Biggest New Virtual Stage. It was written by Tatiana Kirisano. It is a lengthy article. You can find it right now at billboard.com, but some of the major takeaways were absolutely astonishing. We already know that this was a major success and a transformative shift in the way that celebrities and artists view video games. But some of the numbers that Billboard reported were absolutely mind-blowing. And we already knew some of the numbers publicly were mind-blowing, but this just adds to that. For example, let me read one article. This is a very lengthy article. I highly recommend you check it out at billboard.com. But just listen to this as it pertains to the cosmetics related to the game. For Astronomical, Fortnite pulled out all the stops, adding Scott to its icon series of cosmetics, celebrating influential gamers with 2 skins for sale, a replica Scott's performance avatar for the equivalent of about $15, and an astronaut version, $20. Players could also purchase a Diamond Jack harvesting tool, $8, a Goosebumps wrap, essentially a skin for weapons, $5, a headbanger emote, $3, or various bundles of those items. Fortnite does not release virtual merch sales figures, and Scott's team declined to disclose their share of the revenue, but the numbers speak for themselves. Even if the least expensive skin was the only item for sale, at a 3% engagement rate across all 5 airings, sales would add up to a gross of over $12.5 million. So at a traditional 20% revenue share, Scott would rake in $2.5 million from virtual merch alone. That is a conservative estimate based on industry standards. $12.5 million in sales for one skin alone, and $2.5 million in virtual merch going to Travis Scott. On top of that, the estimate that was quoted in the Billboard piece for an artist, a major artist, and their fee to perform in a video game medium is somewhere between $50,000 to $350,000, with Travis Scott commanding up to $500,000. And in terms of viewership, some updated numbers here, it was 45.8 million views, including reruns in-game, and the YouTube official video is up to 77 million, with over 2 million AMA across Twitch live viewings. So we already knew that this was a massive success, but this just is an exclamation mark. And for Billboard to report these numbers and give it the attention that it did as a cover story in their latest magazine, this is just another example of how this is going to snowball into the next big thing. I've been saying this for years, and I'll say it again. Fortnite, as much as it's trying to become the next metaverse, is going to become the next boon for artists, not just musicians, but for celebrities, for movies, television, stand-up specials, even for sports. You will see many more collaborations. There is not a single person in show business looking at this right now and saying, this isn't for me. Every single manager, agent, celebrity, creator, everyone with any sort of audience and anyone looking to make any money for their wares are looking at this right now and saying, how do we get involved? What games can we participate in? Do we look at Minecraft? Do we look at Fortnite? Do we look at World of Warcraft? Do we look at any game that has a substantial user base? How do we collaborate with them, and how do we cash in? What kind of skins do we make? What kind of performance do we put on? What kind of additions? What can we do in the game that we couldn't possibly do live? That was one of the big features for Travis Scott Astronomical, is it really opened the creativity for many of these artists to say, we can do incredible things in video games that we couldn't possibly think of in a live concert format. Now, I'm not saying that concerts are going to die. Of course, concerts will return once it is safe to do so. But Fortnite and other video games will absolutely become a concert stop. Perhaps the main event of a concert tour. Maybe a Justin Bieber or someone of that ilk, for example, does a world tour, and then the last stop is a virtual concert in a video game with bells and whistles that you wouldn't possibly have been able to see live. And then all of a sudden, that is the collaboration that is mutually beneficial for the game and for the artist. But like I said, it's not going to end there. I actually wrote an article about this at ESPN.com/esports about the different types of collaborations we could see in game. We could see sporting events happen, maybe a college football game or an NFL game that is interactive, where you are literally in the game, on the field in Fortnite. Maybe WWE does a wrestling match. They're doing cinematic matches. Now maybe a match takes place in Fortnite, and we see that sort of creativity. The possibilities are endless. We are embarking, for those that think this is coming up in the future, we are already here. These conversations are already happening, and don't be surprised if we hear many more celebrities and musicians and artists announce that either they're going to have a concert or an event in Fortnite, or another AAA massive game with an enormous user base. Let us know in the comments below what you think of these numbers, whether you watched Travis Scott's Astronomical, whether you enjoyed it, or whether you thought, you know what, it wasn't for me. I didn't really enjoy it. It wasn't so fun. I thought it was one of the biggest events of the year, and certainly one of the events that we will continue to speak about for generations to come, because this was a landmark event that really opened the eyes of not only artists and creators, but managers and executives, but also the industry as a whole and fans.